Blount. We did that with Jordan Hancock before, guys that we've done in that. So I think as we look at our guys, we say, okay, who functions well in different places? We put them in a lot of different spots. We haven't played specific roles or, hey, this is going to be your position going forward in the spring. It's really, okay, hey, Matt P, me, Walt, we're all looking at it and saying, okay, who do we have back here and how do we fit those guys into those spots? But absolutely filling the ability to be able to, okay, how did that nickel function? How did the high safety to that field function in some of our deployments? That's for sure something that we're working on right now, and I'm pleased with guys that have been able to do multiple things for us. But I don't have like a hard, concrete, this is exactly how to look for you.
Ideally, would you rather have one guy who has that flexibility, or if you had to package it because one guy can do one part of that job well, one guy can do the other job well, would that be okay too?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think there's positives to both of those things. I think that, not to give you a cop-out answer, but I think you'll have both of those as we progress forward. You'll have packaging where if guys have earned the right to be on the field, it's our job as coaches to put them on the field. So it's great anytime that you could package guys and be able to do that. And then it's also important when you have disguise things based on same people on the field, right? And you have flexibility to be able to go in and out of different looks based on who those guys were. So I know we'll have the flexibility to be able to do both of those going forward.
What changes when you go to more safeties at that nickel rather than corner types like we're right?
Yeah, I think it depends on what an offense is doing to attack, to be honest. Like compared to like a blanket thought for us of just saying, hey, these are always the best guys on the field. It's like, okay, hey, what are personnel groupings that we're getting? What's the attack from an offense to be able to do that? But yeah, anytime that, you look at packaging, you can say, hey, here's 3 corners and 2 safeties, or 3 safeties and 2 corners, or 3 and 3 in a third down package. I think that you have, okay, again, what are the traits of that guy? What does he do well? And let's highlight those. A guy's a great cover guy in the slot, great. We can go match somebody from there. A guy can blitz. He can impact the game different ways. You know what I mean? Like you obviously saw Caleb sometimes at nickel during the season there. Okay, fine. How are we using that guy compared to when Zoe was in there or Jermaine was in there, or whoever it's been, based on that. But I would go back to, okay, what do we do well? How is the offense trying to attack us? And then we marry those together.
Ryan talked about how well Jalen and Earl are communicating right now. How's that showing up in practice?
Yeah, communication's been a huge stress of ours, right? So a stress point for me to the guys. So I'm not saying in a bad way, but like your main communicator was Caleb Downs, right? You guys saw, you couldn't even hear what he was saying, but you saw the directing of traffic and the way that it moved and things like that. So we're brutally honest with the guys. Here's the situation we had going forward. Here's how we look right now. Okay, what do we have to replace? Communication, right? If you walk in our defensive back room, right, Matt Patricia, the one who says this, communication is your job, is the way they would respond, right? That's their job, that's their livelihood, right? So if we have to communicate at a high level, we have to fill shoes of guys who have communicated, which we've done already this spring, but that's for sure an emphasis point. If I say, okay, what are the things we have to get better at on the safety room to be the best in the country, the communication starts there.